why does she look like that? What is she trying to prove?
Shut up! You're thinking so loud that it's hurting my ears. Sometimes I just wish people would speak what they think, and then that way their ignorance would get dealt with. So I bet you're wondering, she's so young. How could her parents let her do something like that to herself? Well, let me explain. My stepfather was always really laid back. He always treated me more like a friend than a daughter. So, when I wanted to get my belly button pierced, I was like, hey, I'm going to go get my belly button pierced. And he was like, hey, okay. The first piercing I ever got was when I was 11. It took my mom a while to get used to it, and she felt like, why do you have those things in? Don't you know what they look like? But after a while, I think she realized what everyone else should. That your body is the one thing that you truly possess, and she wouldn't want anyone telling her what she could or couldn't do with hers. So a little respect goes a long way. So I was walking down the hall this one time, and I heard somebody say, oh, she dresses like that just to get attention. Well, if you just asked me, you'd find out that I'm really into fashion. Just maybe not your type of fashion. Did you ever think that the reason why I wear these things and look the way that I do is simply because I want to? I mean, why do you wear what you do? Like that polo shirt? Or those Ugg boots? Is it because you like the way that they look? Or the way that they look on you? Or maybe it's because it's what everyone else is wearing and you don't like standing out.
Does anybody know what's currently going on in Israel? Jenny? Can anyone tell me what country gives money to Israel's military? Amanda?
Tons of times I've had things to say in class, and teachers just pass me over. And it's like, oh, so you're not even going to talk to me just because of the way that I look? I guess when people don't understand why you look the way that you do, it's just easier for them to ignore you. So when a woman is walking down the street with her kid, and she moves to the other side of the sidewalk, that's a pretty apparent sign. And other people are like, look at that crazy white girl. But if you didn't know, I'm half Latina. A couple of weeks ago, a guy came up to me and interrupted me talking with my friends at a bus stop. He said, excuse me, I just wanted to let you know that God just told me right now you need to get out of the darkness. And I said, excuse me? What is the darkness? And he's like, oh, all the black. So what about businesswomen? They might wear all black. Does that mean that they're in the darkness? I wonder what the world would be like if everybody could just wear what they want. Then maybe we would all be free. Or maybe then the word wouldn't even exist. Shit. I wonder who decides what looks good anyways. So, you can call me a goth if it makes you feel better to label me. Or you can think that I'm a depressed kid who sees the world as a horrible place and worships Satan. Or you can think that I have an AK sitting in my closet just waiting for someone to push me over the edge so I can take out the whole school. Or you can know the truth. It's up to you. Don't be afraid of the dark.
Remember when we were young and nothing mattered?
The best part of the day was recess, when we all got to play.
And it didn't matter how you look like, we could all just play. Hey guys, can I play?
Sure. Life was so fun. It didn't matter if my skin shade was a different color than yours, or if my clothes weren't as good as yours. All that mattered was just fun. We were all united against one cause. Boys. Boys? Ew!
Then we got older, and we began to separate ourselves. And our viewpoints changed.
Boys.
And for some stupid reason, things started to get competitive.
Hey, what's up, girl?
None. What's their problem?
I don't know, but thanks for helping me with math last weekend.
No problem. Anyways, we're going for lunch today. You want to come?
Sorry, I already got plans, but I'll catch you later.
Okay.
Bye. Hey.
Why are you talking to her?
I don't know, we go way back.
Didn't you see what she's wearing?
I know. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Why do we have to stab each other like that? Is it for boys?
Is it because there's so many of us we have to compete? Why?
I don't know. I just wish we could just go back to a time when there was no judging and we could just all play.
When we're together. Just girls.
And in the 15th century, they moved on to Tiari. Could you please pay attention?
I am.
And as I was saying, in the 15th century, they moved on to Tiari, please.
God, I can pay attention and talk at the same time.
Tiari.
Yes, Miss Drew. That's Joe. What is it, Julie?
Tiari.
I'm sorry, but sometimes I just can't sit down and be quiet. As a matter of fact, I'm going to teach class today. Class is in session. Well then, I think today's lesson out of necessity should be about culture. You see, boys and girls, we all come from different cultures. Because your own family is your own culture. Did you know that? No two family does the same thing at home as another. From the big to the small things that your family does greatly affects how you live your life. So even you white kids out there who are complaining about you don't have any culture, you do. It just doesn't come from where you expect. Therefore, it's very important that we respect each other's cultures, because in a way, we all have different cultures. Once we respect, we can learn, not the other way around. So you see, it starts with respect. Respecting someone different is the most important lesson I can teach you today, class. Take learning, for example. A lot of teachers, myself excluded, don't understand the cultures of their students. So how can they teach them, you ask? Most of the time, teachers expect students to conform to their personal culture. When this fails, you have a lot of students in that class with poor grades. Let's take me, for example. A large part of my culture comes from the African American culture. A lot of teachers in America have trouble teaching them because they can never understand why black students are so loud or why they have such a lack of patience. I must admit, the reason why I speak out sometimes in class is because I'm hella bored. But most of the time the reason why I do it is because that's how things are done in my culture. Anyone who's been to a black church knows this. If you got something to say, you say it. You don't raise your hand. This dates all the way back to Africa, where words aren't left inside, they're put out on the table so that they can be dealt with. And if more teachers knew about this, they will discover or look for better ways to help their students. Now today we're going to talk a little bit about stereotypes, so that if you ever hear a bad one, you can correct it, okay? Now, there's a lot of stereotypes about Samoans, like they're big, tough, and they're stupid. But I know a couple of Samoans who are small and gentle. Some are even smart, like me. Some people go as far as to say that Samoans are retarded black people. We have to remember that Samoans are very beautiful people with rich culture and traditions. Did you know that there's a Samoan church right here in Seattle? There, now, you can see that learning about somebody else's culture can be fun. Now, if you ever try to get somebody else to understand something, you have to understand them first. Then you'll understand the best way to teach them. It all starts with understanding. Class is dismissed.